Hi, everybody. My name is Mélisse Brunet, and I'm music director of the Lexington Philharmonic. And it is my greatest pleasure to introduce you to Jeff Johnson today. And he's the director of choral activities at the University of Kentucky, as well as the music director and conductor of the Lexington Singers. Hi, Jeff. How are you?
Hi, Mélisse. Great. It's good to be with you today.
Thank you for being here. How do you manage so many choirs, and how do you like the balance between teaching and performing?
Well, that's a good question. First of all, it is a lot of hours, but it's a labor of love. I mean, you know this, that we love as conductors and as music teachers, we love what we do. And so it doesn't feel like work so much as it's enjoyable work, at least, if not downright fun, right? Yeah, balancing all of those choirs is a challenge, but it's also a reward because the young singers, the college singers, bring something different to the table than the adults do with the Lexington Singers. And so I kind of get that, I get the youthful exuberance and, the infusion of energy that the college students bring to rehearsals, and the maturity and, dependability and all those things that the older people bring.
That's wonderful. How many people total are in your choirs?
Well, at the UK choirs, we have about 250 college students, and but I have some help. Dr. Lori Hetzel conducts the women's choir, and Dr. Beth Wilson conducts the choristers. We have 7 choirs total, and about 250 kids, all in all. And then with the Lexington Singers, we're in a sort of a rebuilding stage since COVID in terms of our numbers. We had 180 pre-COVID on our roster for our adult choir, which made us one of the largest community choirs in the country. Since COVID, we've been more like 140, 130, still a very healthy number, and still one of the largest community choirs, in this part of the country. But in addition, Mélisse, the Lexington Singers have a children's choir, an arm that includes 4 children's choirs, and that's another 125 to 150 kids, ages, maybe 5 to 17.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's really, really impressive. And so basically, you serve the entire community. Anyone in Lexington or greater area wants to sing in a choir can just reach out to you. There is an option.
Yes, thank you for saying that. That's true.
So if some people really want to sing, but they're self-conscious and maybe they think, oh, my voice is horrible, what would you recommend for them to do to just not be scared and reach out and try?
Well, we're not the only community chorus in the community. There are others. In fact, Lexington and Central Kentucky in general is a very singing community. This region has got a lot of choirs, and that's something that I'm proud of. I've been here for 30 years now in this community, and I've seen the number of choral organizations grow at the community level. I've seen the church choirs, some of them become very, very strong and healthy. And then our university choirs and other universities in the area also have grown with their choral programs. So yeah, I mean, there are a lot of options for people who want to sing.
That's wonderful. So let's talk now about our collaboration, because it's not super often that we can have choirs and orchestra and professional orchestra together. It's huge. It has a cost. How different is it for singers in a choir to be with an orchestra, to be singing with an orchestra?
Well, that's a great question. And, most choirs perform either a cappella or with a piano or with an organ. And they don't have the privilege or the opportunity to perform with an orchestra, especially one that is as good as the Lexington Philharmonic. So it's an honor for us when we get to combine with LexPhil, and we look forward to every opportunity that presents itself.
Well, I'm also looking forward to that. I know for me, it's going to be the first collaboration with you, and I've been enjoying so far all of our interactions, but I know it's not the first time for the Lexington Singers to collaborate with LexPhil, and I hear that everybody is very excited about that.
We are excited. The Lexington Singers and the Lexington Philharmonic have a long history. We go back, our organizations were founded around the same time, little before 1960, around that time. So we've kind of grown up together in the community. When we get a chance, when the Lexington Singers get a chance to collaborate with the Lexington Philharmonic, it's an additional challenge for us to sing with an orchestra, going back to your previous question, but it also enables us and the LexPhil as well to perform some of the greatest works of Western art. And so, that's, you can't really even describe how exciting that can be.
Yeah, and also being live in that concert with voices and orchestra, all the vibrations, all the emotion that you cannot feel on recording, at home on YouTube or on TV, or it's just a very different experience. And this is also why our collaboration, our concert, A Cathedral Christmas, is extremely popular, and a lot of community members want to attend this concert. This year we have a program, and every year this is a program that is rather difficult and challenging and demanding for the choir, because you sing a lot of different styles. How do you prepare your choirs for that, and what makes it very interesting?
I think the diversity of styles that we have on the Cathedral concert is sort of a indicative of the type of diversity that the Lexington Singers embrace. Musically, we try to do every kind of style of music that you can imagine with as much integrity as possible. Now, obviously, with a really large choir like we have, there are some things that we don't even attempt, like madrigals, for instance, just don't work with as many people as we have in our group. But choral orchestral works are absolutely, within our grasp. And we do, we do a concert every year that is primarily spirituals and gospel music. We do a concert that's pop music, Broadway and pop. We do a concert that's patriotic music, and the rest of our year is largely classical music. So we try to do a little bit of everything and expose our singers and our audiences to as many different styles as possible.
Well, you are not only trying, you're successful at it. What in that program is really exciting for the choir? Do they have a favorite piece? Do you have a favorite piece?
Yes, as we had a rehearsal recently, and we sang the O Holy Night, which is arranged by Renee Clausen. Now, interestingly, and Clausen is a composer from Minnesota. Interestingly, the Lexington Singers just performed a major work by Clausen, the same composer, called A New Creation. And this was in November, earlier in November, and it called for a chamber orchestra, and we used some players from LexPhil, which was really exciting for us, but it was a small group. And so now we're revisiting a piece by the same composer, and everyone knows Oh Holy Night. It's a beautiful melody, but Renee Clausen's arrangement is particularly stunning. And we rehearsed it the other night for the first time, and it instantly shot to the top of my list. I think it's going to be my favorite.
Oh, that's wonderful. Did the choir express, like, there is one piece they're very much looking forward to perform?
We're going to do the Hallelujah chorus on this concert, and I think we're going to open with the concert with that, which is awesome. And that's a piece that everybody in our group knows well, because we've done the Christmas portion of the Messiah many times. And so the Hallelujah chorus is something I joke with the singers. I said, you all could fall out of bed and sing the Hallelujah chorus, but the fact is it's difficult. It's tricky, because Baroque music is not easy to sing. And so that's something that we're looking forward to. I might also say the Bach piece that's on our program, which is the last movement from the Christmas Oratorio, is one of my absolute favorites in the world. Primarily it's instrumental, and the choir sings, just phrases here and there, but it is just sublime. I mean, Bach is, for me, you can't get any better than Johann Sebastian Bach. And so that's going to be one of my highlights.
Beautiful trumpet parts, of course, as well. very difficult and beautiful trumpet part. So I know the LexPhil is also very much looking forward to the entire program. The concert is on Saturday, December 17th at the Cathedral of Christ the King, 299 Colony Boulevard. Okay, I'd like to ask you more questions, Jeff. Or I know you're very busy because you're in academia and you're in performance. I'm doing the same, so I know how our schedules work. Do you have time to do other things? And if yes, what are your hobbies? What do you really like to do?
I like the outdoors. And so I like to hike. My wife and I like to go hiking, and West Virginia is our favorite place to go that's close that we can drive to. We also like to go out west and hike. We met in Boulder, Colorado. That's where she and I met in the 90s. And so we have sort of the mountains are part of our DNA. But I also like to kayak. I love rivers and streams of all kinds. And I like to play golf a little bit. Golf is a time-consuming and sometimes frustrating sport, but I find that playing golf is a lot like conducting, in that technique is key, and little things matter. So I won't say that I'm a good golfer, but I enjoy trying.
And also, I find that it's a skill you can learn all of your life, like conducting. It's, you never master the art really of golfing or conducting. That's a process. And as you said, there are so many events that you cannot control, like the grass, the wind, and it's the same for conducting. How does that whole sound? Are there some challenges with the cathedral to perform in the cathedral, for example?
In the cathedral, I'm glad you brought that up, because performing in the cathedral is really a special experience. Any choral singers who are listening and have not had the experience of singing in the cathedral are really missing something. Of course, our cathedral is, Christ the King, I say ours, the one that's in our community, Christ the King is designed on the European Gothic model, which you've probably performed in dozens of those, but we haven't. And so we don't get that opportunity very often. And it's just, the hard surfaces, the huge, the high ceiling, and the physical, visually stunning, the beauty of the place is just, acoustics is one thing. It's nice to sing in a great acoustic, but then also to have that visually stunning, the stained glass windows and the columns, and it's just beautiful.
And that's a great and powerful experience, very emotional as well. Yes. Are there anything else that you would like to add for our community, our audience members?
Well, I would like to say welcome to you to Lexington and to Central Kentucky. We're so excited to have you. And when you were hired, I instantly got messages from people who knew you from other places, like in your previous appointments, and they said, you're going to love working with Mélisse. And I said, yes, I think I am. And so I'm very excited for our collaborations.
Well, thank you so much, Jeff. It's been a pleasure working with you so far, and thank you for being so open-minded. And we are inviting all the audience to come experience that beautiful concert, that beautiful collaboration between so many humans on stage. Come experience the vibrations and the emotion of the music together. December 17th, this is Lexington Singers and the LexPhil for you. Thank you so much, Jeff.
Thank you.